Oh.
Okay, Ty, we are live now. Can you please make me the co-host?
Okay, you're the co-host now. We're good.
Okay, have a great session.
Thank you. Oh. Well, welcome everybody to Saturday's Tai Chi. Give a minute or so for people to pop in from the waiting room. Oh, excuse me. Oh, so good to see you folks today. See, we have Pat and Susan and Kathy and Ken and Pam and Pamela. I bet some more are going to pop in the next minute. Amazing how many people have the same name of iPad. I'm just amazed, such a common name. Hi, Verna and Gretchen. Welcome, iPad. Okay, let me get the slides up and we'll get yeah, Pamela, it's not that funny, but I appreciate the little the emoji for it. My jokes are never that funny, but they are attempts, okay? Hi, David. So I appreciate. Oh, welcome, David. Let me bring up the slides. Yeah, this is not a presentation of humor, even though I do my best. Though some people say my best leaves a lot to be desired as far as humor. Okay. Welcome to Tai Chi Beginners. We're currently studying the Sung Style 12 form. My name is Ty, and I live in Lake Mary, Florida, in the U.S. I have an education in biology and psychology and computer science, and I had a very diverse career from some federal agencies, including the DoD and the USDA, to a medical center, and then eventually a consultant traveling around to help medical centers understand their computer system more, how to use their data, how to exploit it, how to get accurate data out of their system, because that's actually a major deal. It's easy to get data out. It's not always accurate. Since I retired, I am now teaching, spending more of my time teaching Kundalini Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Tai Chi, and therapeutic Qigong. And I'm here today to help you through the Sung style Tai Chi forms. And hopefully I will guide you down a path so that you not only learn the mechanics, but eventually you delve just a little bit deeper into the Tai Chi forms and make it into a meditative practice. That is my ultimate goal. Some people just enjoy the mechanics, and there is nothing wrong with that. But I hope to get you through the mechanics, talk you into a small home practice, and get you into the meditative side of it. We're here today thanks to Get Set Up, where we learn from each other. It's seniors teaching seniors. one thing we've got with our senior status is we have lived for decades. And in those decades, we've learned and experienced a lot. And now we have a chance to come together and share that with each other. Now, for today's class, which is a movement class, ideally I can see you, because when I see you, that feedback helps me know how the class is going, what to say next, if something needs to be corrected. But if you don't want to turn the camera on, don't. You're welcome in here with your camera turned off. I'm just kind of hopefully promoting people to get more comfortable and turn their cameras on when they're ready. There will be a recording of today's class, and you can request it after class just by emailing help@getsetup.io, and that'll be echoed again at the end of the class. If you didn't make it in today because it actually did book up, it sold out, then you made it in by live stream. I'm so glad you were able to get in, and congratulations for making it. You are so welcome to join us this way. But the best way is to get into a class through registration and join us so it's interactive for you. On Friday, they release a new week's schedule each Friday. So the best time to start looking for opportunities is late in the day on Friday or over the weekend. It's usually a week away that they're releasing, but that's when you can get into hard to fill classes. The good news is they're supposed to be upping the number in my class. Instead of limiting it to 40, I believe they're going to be limiting it to 60. So more people should be able to get registered and get in. Do understand that Get Set Up is not paid to promote any specific product. Now, the important slide. It's expected. It says here recommended, but it is expected by me that you have had a conversation with your doctor prior to starting this particular class, as well as any other movement class, especially if you have a health condition or you're taking any medications, because you need to be knowledgeable of what limits that your doctor advises you to honor. And after you honor those limits, you should be listening to your body during the practice and honoring what your body tells you to limit that day. Some days were better than other days, maybe more energy, or maybe we're suffering a bad sensation. Honor that feedback from your body and cut back on the movement. Either do less repetitions or slow down or don't go as far. And then third, you can follow what I say. So doctor first, your body second, and Thai third. Basic forms that we're practicing these days for Sung Style 12 is the Wuji Universal Posture, the commencement form, and open and close. Those are taught in detail in the intro class, Tai Chi, Why It's Great for Seniors. I will give you a rundown today, but if you haven't been in the Why It's Great for Seniors class, take it at least one time. That's all you need to get the history of Tai Chi and get a little bit of practice in more detail with these three forms. Now, today, we're going to be practicing single whip. In the Sung Style 12 forms, we practice single whip and brush the knee. Now, each one of those has a left version and a right version. Today, we're going to focus on learning and practicing the single whip to the right. So I flip it around. Next time, we'll probably do the left next time you see single whip. And then, of course, brush the knee left and right. Don't worry about the names. I'll be quoting those in the training. Now, we have practice rules. Do only what you're comfortable with. That's kind of reiterating the doctor's slide. And do only what you're capable of. That doctor's directions first. Wear comfortable clothing. That usually means loose. And some shoes that are flat and well-fitting. Some people like to do the class barefooted, and there's literally nothing wrong with doing that if you have good balance barefooted. Make sure you're well balanced barefooted before you decide to go barefooted in your class. But if you're stable and that's the way you want to practice, so be it. I recommend some sort of flat shoe, tennis shoe, deck shoes. There are such things as Tai Chi shoes that you can buy online that are inexpensive, and they're flat and very soft-soled and soft-bodied shoes. If you're really hungry or you've just had a good-sized meal, don't practice. If you just had a little bit of food, it might be fine, but it's kind of like swimming. You don't want to be uncomfortable while you're practicing. You won't drown like in a pool, but hey, you still might be uncomfortable or get nauseated if you're practicing while having a full stomach, which also feeds into always listen to your body. Always listen to your body. That's not just in class, that's in life. Take rest periods as needed. Stop. If you ever feel any pain, if you ever feel lightheaded, stop immediately. Sit down. You may already be practicing seated, and that's fine, but stop if you feel pain or feel lightheaded. Always stay in your comfort zone there. That's listening to your body too. What is your comfort zone? Honor whatever your level of exertion is today. Honor the range of motion. Don't overreach. Honor your length of practice. We go for 30 or 40 minutes in class. That may be more than you care to practice. Take a break. Take a break as often as you want to. Sit, sip some water, and then resume when you're ready. We move slowly. We move continuously. That means flowingly, continuously, smoothly as you're able. Don't worry if you're new to it and you're very mechanical. You got to learn the mechanics. And then later, when you kind of got experience with mechanics, you'll start going a little more smoothly and letting it flow. Breathe. It says here, breathe naturally and easily. Breathe. That's what it boils down to. Don't hold your breath. Don't force your breath. Let it be natural. And in your practice, use only the minimum amount of effort that your body needs to do the movements. Don't add extra tension or extra muscular strength into the body. You want to be as relaxed as possible. So once you kind of get the basics down pat, start seeing if you can reduce how much effort you're putting into the body. One little trick is just imagine that the air around you is thick, kind of like a fog, a dense fog that you're sort of swimming through or pushing against. That helps you slow down. It gives you a little bit more sensation to the movement. Just enjoy that resistance. Bottom line, let things go. You know, let all that little extra emotional baggage go. Let extra strength go. Let extra tension. Let all that stress go. Because less is more. It's a very simple rule there. Less is always more. And there's no hurry. You can't do your Tai Chi too slowly. We have practice guidelines, 8 fundamental guidelines that I bring into the classes. Each class I focus on one, and today we're going to focus on postural alignment. This is one of the really basic ones. You want to keep your head, neck, and torso together. So move them as one unit. When your head moves, your shoulders and torso should be moving too. If your torso moves, your head should be moving too. We don't do spinal twist in Tai Chi. If you want spinal twist, come to yoga with me and we'll do a lot of spinal twist. We want to have the weight well distributed on the feet. And we'll talk about that in class. While moving, the body remains upright. You don't lean into movements. No tilting, no leaning. The shoulders always stay well aligned over the hips. If you find yourself leaning, just say, oh, I'm human. I did it again. Don't lean, and correct yourself. So with that being said, let's do some practice of our Tai Chi. Come seated, come standing, or you can stand with a chair nearby for support. But if you use a chair, either way, make sure it's one that does not have wheels on it. And I recommend you have some water available. Let's get some music going and I'm going to make me spotlighted on your screen. There we go. Let me change cameras for the, you can see me when I stand up. Okay, if you're going to practice standing, come standing with me. Can you hear me okay over the music? Anybody give me a thumbs up? Cool. Just to briefly give you a rundown on those 3 introductory postures. Stand tall, ankles over feet, hips over ankles, shoulders over hips. Stretch tall. This is your chance to really push back against gravity and allow the arms to relax. If you soften your shoulders and release tension there, your arms will just sort of relax down. If you need a little more stability than hips width apart feet, then step out with 1 foot and give yourself a little more distance. That is how you, by the way, that's how you take a step in Tai Chi. I'm going to leave my feet hips width apart like I started, and I'm going to widen them. And the way you take a step out is bring your weight to 1 foot so that you're balanced on that foot. Lift the other foot and put the heel down and bring your weight over. So that's a Tai Chi step. Balance on 1 foot, weight solid on that foot, and step out. Now my feet are about shoulders width apart, and I'm a little more stable there. You can feel the weight shifting back and forth as you sway. Start getting used to that sensation because you want to pay attention to that in your practice. That's why Tai Chi becomes so useful in fall prevention, because we become so much more aware of our body and where it is in space. Stop ignoring those minor sensations and actually start paying attention to them. So this position is called Wuji. When you stand tall, hips basically over ankles, shoulders basically over hips, head pulled to the sky, and relaxed body. Now, it's not just the shoulders that relax, everything relaxes, including your knees. The knees go a little spongy. You don't have straight legs, it's nice, soft, spongy knees. This is, when I say find your Wuji, this is what I mean. And you relax into the form. Start nice, slow breath, but keep it natural. Now, after Wuji comes commencement form. Commencement form is the form we use to start our practice or start a long sequence. So let's quickly learn commencement form. You start in Wuji. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this magnificent form of mine. Yeah, right? No, I just want you to be able to see where I move. So from Wuji, to do commencement, you bring your weight to the right foot. Let me space you for a moment. Bring your weight to the right foot like we did to take the step. Because we're going to take a step. We're going to bring the weight to the right foot, lift the left foot, and put that heel down, and then the toe. Now that's a very small step. Notice from the side how small I take the step. My heel is basically at the place my other toe is, and then I bring the weight down on it. So it's a very small step. So weight to the right foot, step out, heel, toe with the left. When your weight, you shift your weight fully to the left foot and bring that right foot to join. That's it. So weight to the right foot, step out with the left, bring the right foot to join. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Give me just a moment. Allergy trouble going on with me. So, find your Wuji. Commencement footwork is bring your weight to the right foot, step out with the left, and then bring the right to join, and your weight's back in the center of your body. Now, we have some upper body work to do with that. From Wuji, let's just do the upper body now, and then we'll combine it. For commencement, you rotate the shoulders, keeping the elbows and the wrists soft. The hands go up to about shoulder height, and then they come back down, and you pull them in toward your belly button. They come up the chest, and then they reach out again. Reach about 70% of your reach, and then back into the chest. Let's go back to Wuji and do that again. So inhale as you rotate the shoulders up, soft arms. You kind of draw the letter U. The hands come down, and the hands come up the chest. There's that letter U. Reach out. Elbows come down, and you come back to the chest. Now that's the upper body part of commencement. Let's put it together with the footwork. Find your Wuji. Inhale for commencement. Soft elbows, soft wrists, dangling fingers. Draw your U. As your hands get to your belly button, this is when the footwork starts, because as the hands come up the chest, you bring your weight to the right foot. Step out with the left foot, heel, toe, and you reach forward with those hands. Weights on the left foot, bring the right to join it, and elbows down. That's commencement. It's not too difficult. We do it 3 or 4 times at least in the intro class. So let's do it one more time, and then we're going to get into our single whip. So find your Wuji. Inhale. Exhale as the arms come down. Sink in the knees a little. Then as your hands come up the chest, your weight goes to the right foot and you step out with the left. Reach forward, weights to the left foot. Bring the right to join, elbows down. Nice. That is how we start our sequence. Now, with the hands at heart center there at the end of commencement, I'm going to get real close so you can see this. The hands are sort of like holding a ball. The palms are facing each other. Get a good perspective there. Yeah. The hands are facing each other. Your hands are curved. Your fingers are curved like you're holding a ball of, in this case, a ball of energy. You can consider a volleyball or a cantaloupe, but if you consider that invisibly you've got a ball of energy there, you may actually start to feel that energy. But the next form is called an open and close, and you just separate the hands a little bit and bring them back together. So open, I like to inhale, and close, I like to exhale and sink in my knees. You may even just envision that you're stretching that energy ball like you would taffy between the hands. And then, so let's add that to our commencement form, and then we'll move on. So find your Wuji. Commencement is inhale, bring the hands up. Drop the hands, bring them to the belly button as you exhale, sinking in the knees. Weight to the right foot, step out with the left. Weight goes to the left foot as you reach forward. Bring that right foot to join the left. And then your hands at heart center, you just open and close. That's it. Now the open and close is sort of a connector form. It tells you you've finished one piece and you're going to start the next piece. So we're using it here to say we finished our commencement and we're going to start our single whip. So we're just going to use this open and close as our starting point for the single whip. So that way we don't do commencement every time. So find a Wuji and bring your hands up to heart center. Let me show you the sequence before we start it. Some of you have already done it with me. Some have done it many times, but we may have some brand new people. So single whip looks like this. That's called pushing the curtain. This is called opening the curtain. This is called waving hands in the clouds. And I'll finish that little sequence with an open and close. And then, of course, there's single whip the other direction. Just the mirror image of what I did the first sequence. We study it both ways. And I finish this sequence with an open and a close. You kind of see how the open and close is a separator. So let's work on single whip. I'm going to go single whip in that direction. If you're mirroring image, if you're mirroring me, you may be doing single whip to the left while I call it right. Not a problem. It's just verbiage. And I will turn myself around so that the verbiage matches what you're doing, but I don't want to do it every instruction. So find your Wuji, bring your hands up to heart center, and open and close. The first form that we learn now is single whip itself. It's the single whip sequence, but the first form is called single whip. And to do the single whip, you bring your weight to the left foot. If you're mirroring me, that's the right foot. Turn 45 degrees toward the other foot and step out. You always step out heel, toe. As your weight's going onto that front foot, you turn your palms away and push as though you're pushing an energy curtain away. That's it. Come back and let's do that again. Open, close, weight to my left foot. I rotate to the right 45 degrees and step out and push. Nice. One more time. Open, close, single whip. Step out 45 degrees, heel, toe, small step, and push. Nice. Now, after we do a single whip, we open the curtain. Remember, I talked about pushing the curtain as we go into single whip? Well, open the curtain is just separating the hands. But notice I'm only moving one hand. So one hand, I've pushed the curtain here, and then I open the curtain by leaving one hand there and just rotating the other one. My head and my torso rotates. So it's, and my eyes follow the back of the hand. You may notice, like when I go into single whip, the weight is on that extended foot. But as I separate the hands and I rotate my torso watching the back of the hand, the weight starts shifting and I end up with the weight on the other foot. Let's try that. Open and close, single whip right. Step out to the right 45 degrees. Put your weight on that forward foot. Push the curtain. Now for me, my weight's on the right foot and I'm going to separate by moving the left hand and I'm going to track it. Notice how the weight follows with you rotating your torso. Shoulders and the head stay together as one unit. I'm going to turn my back to you and do that so that my words match my movements for you. Find your Wuji. Open and close. I need to get over a little bit. Single whip to the right. Open the curtain. You end up with your weight on the opposite foot and you're staring at the opposite hand. Do that again. Open, close, single whip right, weight goes to the left foot, turn 45 degrees to the right, push the curtain. My weight's on the right foot, that forward foot. I'm taking the left hand and rotating and watching. A major point in Tai Chi is becoming aware of how your weight is shifting. So like weight shifting to that forward foot, weight is shifting to my back foot. It's almost like you're constantly rocking between the feet, which basically you are. So open and close, single whip. My weight's on the left foot, but now it's going to rock to the right foot. Open the curtain, it's going to rock to the left foot. You start kind of enjoying that rocking sensation because it becomes so, it's meditative and soothing. So it's also part of the concept of, I always get this word wrong, proprioception or pre-pri, I'll have to look it up. But it's the concept of knowing where your body is in space. So find your Wuji, ready for the open and close. Open and close. Single whip to the right. Weight to the left foot, or in your case, to the right if you're mirroring me. Turn 45 degrees and step out with the other foot. Push the curtain as your weight goes the other foot. Open the curtain as your weight comes back to the other foot. Now, when that curtain is open, your weight's on this foot and you're staring at the back of that hand. Well, this foot's now free. It can be lifted. So bring it in, lift it and bring it back to join where it started. And the right hand that it left, so that was my right foot, it brought it back in to join the left. My right hand just swoops down. It just kind of, it's kind of a, I don't know what to call this, but it's kind of just a let it go. Let it swoop down and join. It'll come to rest somewhere near the other elbow. So let me start and show that from the first. Open and close, single whip. Open the curtain. Bring in the foot. Bring in the hand. Swish it down. That is an iconic move in Sung style. They love flowing, swishing movements. So that arm just comes down to join this. Now, mechanically, the arms look like this, but softly they look something like this, okay? But if you think about the mechanics, because we're gonna use the mechanics in this concept, this is gonna be how we do the arms while we wave hands in the cloud. You're gonna constantly keep changing back. So it looks like this. I'm just doing it quickly to give you an idea. See how one hand goes high, one hand goes low. And basically all you're doing is, that was very mechanical. So, but people have trouble sometimes with this movement of waving hands, but really it's just a very easy one hand high, one hand low. So let's get into the detail with that. Find your Wuji. Remember, your Wuji is soft shoulders, soft neck, soft elbows, soft gaze. Oh yeah, your vision ought to be soft. And you should have an inner smile. That includes possibly smiling lips, but definitely smiling eyes. Show people how you can smile through your eyes. Hands to heart center, front open and close. Single whip right. I'm bringing my weight to the left foot, turning to the right 45 degrees and stepping out and pushing. Open the curtain. I'm watching the back of my left hand. My weight is shifting to my left foot as I turn my torso. I'm lifting that right foot and bringing it in join the left. I'm swishing the right hand down. Now, here's where we get that little tricky thing I talked about. So, at this point, my weight is pushed to my left foot. I've got a torso twist as I'm like this. I'm going to bring that right hand up and it's going to replace the left hand. And the left hand's coming down. That's the shifting I told you a minute ago. It's basically this. Right hand goes up, left hand comes down. Notice as my arm goes up, I twist a little bit more into the twist. My torso just turns a little bit. It has to bring that hand up. So, open the curtain. Switch hands. See, I kind of release it when I bring it down. So let's do open and close. Single whip to the right. Open the curtain. My weight's coming back to my left foot. So I'm going to bring that right foot in to join the left. Swish the hand down. Let it go up and replace the left hand. I'm going to twist a little bit more into it. Now I'm going to lift this foot, the opposite foot, step out just a little and rotate. I'm watching the back of that hand. And for me, it's the right hand. And I'm going to bring in the opposite foot. I'm going to switch hands and rotate back. Each time my weight is shifting from one foot to the other. Switch hands, step out, and rotate. Step in, switch hands, and rotate. Check your body and see if there's any softening you can offer the body. Step out, switch hands, and rotate. Soft gaze, watching the back of the hand. Bring in that hand. Now the other hand comes up. We rotate back, and we finish by bringing the hands up and rotating back to heart center for an open and a close. I'm going to turn my back to you. So find your Wuji, open and close. Single whip, 45 degrees, step out and push the energy curtain. Open the curtain, watching the back of that hand as your weight comes back to the other foot. Bring the forward foot in to join where it started. Swish the hand down, replace the hands or switch them, however you want to look at it. Step out and rotate. Step in, switch hands, and rotate. We do this 3 times for waving hands in the clouds. That was number 2, so let's switch hands, step out and rotate. Step in, switch hands and rotate. Hands come back to heart center and open and close. If you're new with us, I recommend you choosing one form today, maybe single whip. Just single whip and practice it for the next few days. And then after you've got single whip comfortable in your mind, you've rewatched the class, you've read the words I will send you, and once you've got single whip really firmly in your mind with good posture, then you open the curtain. Study one form at a time until you really feel like you actually feel the form, not just the mechanics, and then start connecting it with another one. Waving hands in the clouds is a good one to practice heavily, and don't stop at 3. Just do an entire room. You can just start on one side of the room and keep doing waving hands in the clouds. If you got enough space, maybe you can do 10 or 15 of them, and then you turn around and just go back. Nice soft music playing. Keep doing it until you feel like it's a little meditative, and then you're not having to think so much about where do I put my foot, where do I put my hands. I advise people, you can memorize as many of these forms, and there's hundreds and hundreds of forms, and you can memorize them. But it's better to know one form. It's better to know open and close and feel it. Really feel your body as you're doing open and close than it is to memorize 108 forms. So even if you just spend the next couple of days, 5 minutes a day, doing nothing but stand a little taller, inhale and exhale, and settle into your body and start really experiencing what the body's doing. Where am I feeling my body? Can I feel my breath? This is far more important than memorizing all the sequence, because I'm always going to be here going through the sequence. You're always going to have the recordings. There's always going to be opportunity to study the sequence more. But to feel it is something only comes with your own inner journey as you practice and you experience the forms. And that's where you get the greater benefits. I was out this morning at a nonprofit helping dog rescue, and I think something bit me. So I've got an itch on my thigh. I apologize. It was a great event, though. We raised $1,500. Find your Wuji. Bring your hands together. Open and close. Single whip right. Bring the weight to the left foot. Step out to the right 45 degrees, small step, heel and toe. Get your weight on that right foot firmly before you extend the hands. Because notice how balanced you are there. If you just put your hands out, you're a little off balance. I mean, we're strong enough to do it. But if that foot's out and the hands are going out, you're pretty well balanced. You've got that little weight supporting your reach. So it's open and close. Open the curtain. And your body weight just shifts to the other foot. which frees up that front foot to come in. Push down the hands, replace or switch the hands, step out and rotate. Step in, switch hands and rotate back. Step out, switch hands. Step in, switch hands, rotate. Step out, switch hands and rotate. Step in, switch hands and rotate. Now, at the end of this sequence, before you bring the hands back to heart center, let that lower hand not only come up to meet the high one, but go a little higher. And then it kind of leads the other hand to heart center. And you open and close. Come back and do that again. I think we got all the pieces now. So, open. Tell you what, let's do the commencement with it this time. So find your Wuji. I always kind of like wiggle and shake it out a little bit when I get started. Take one nice breath with me. Just inhale and exhale. In commencement form, rotate the shoulders. Draw the letter U. As the hands come up the chest, bring your weight to the right foot and step out with the left. Heel, toe, reach forward. Now, when I reach forward, my hands kind of dip down. Let me show you. They kind of dip down like that. So I reach forward and dip down. Yeah. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Let's try that again. Find your Wuji. Inhale. Notice my hands kind of dangle down. When they get to the top, they kind of go up a little bit, and then they come down to draw the letter U. Step out. Hands go out, and the fingers kind of dangle a little bit. Bring the other foot to join. Bend your elbows, and bring the hands in for an open and close. Single whip to the right. Weight goes to the left foot. Step out to the right. Push the curtain. Open the curtain. Pushing against that thick, dense fog. Bring in the up front foot. Bring down the hand. Switch hands. Step out and wave your hands in the clouds. Bring in that left foot. Switch hands and rotate back. Your focus should be soft, so maybe your gaze goes a little bit beyond the hand. Step out, switch hands, and rotate. I tend to focus a few feet past my hands. Bring in the foot, switch hands, and rotate back. Switch hands, step out and rotate. Step in, switch hands, and rotate. Now remember that little flare I taught you just a minute ago. The low hand comes up a little higher than the upper hand, and it sort of leads the other hand over, and they come together at heart center. Soft knees, open and close. Every exhale is an opportunity to remember to soften those knees. Every exhale in life is a time when you should remember to let something go. Every exhale is an opportunity to let something go. Okay, let's try that again. Find your Wuji. Remember, Wuji is a relaxed, even meditative posture. Some people will start their practice by going into Wuji and just enjoying their breath for a minute or two before they start their practice. So, commencement is rotate the shoulders, little flare to the hands. As the hands come down, I'm settling in my knees. Hands come toward my belly button. I bring my weight to the right foot and step out. Reach forward. Bring the other foot to join. Hands back to heart center. Open and close. Single whip to the right. Step out to the right and push the curtain. Weight's on the forward foot. Open the curtain as the weight comes back to the other foot. Swish down, bring the forward foot back. Switch hands and rotate. Sorry, I lost my balance there for a moment. Bring in the foot, switch hands and rotate back. Constantly that little rocking motion. Weight's going to my left foot now. Switch hands, step out. As I rotate, the weight's going to go to my right foot. I'm just rocking back and forth. Bring in the left foot, switch hands, and rock the weight back to that foot. Step out, switch hands, and rotate. Again, I'm rocking to that foot. Bring in the foot, switch hands, and rotate back. And now to close that sequence, that hand goes a little higher than the other one. A little flare. They come to heart center for an open and a close. Now, when you're finished with your practice for the day, allow the hands just to go forward, palms down, and rotate down. That's just called a closing. If you want something a little more pleasant, I don't know what to call it, you can take your hands down and circle out, come back around, say the throat, and push energy down. This is called taking energy from the universe and putting it back to giving it back to the earth. It's also called pushing energy down your spine. Maybe you have a visualization of pushing it down your spine. I always tend to think of moving the energy around. All energy comes from the universe, comes from our sun primarily. It comes into the earth, and the earth gives a lot of that energy back to us. So we get energy from two directions. So this is us just grabbing some of that energy and moving it around, pushing it down. You don't even have to believe in the energy. Just visualize it and explore it. Maybe by now your hands are tingling a little, or maybe they're feeling warm. We move energy around in our body when we move our body. More energy we move in our body, the healthier we are, because the more capable our body is of working efficiently, fighting off disease, moving toxins and waste out of our body. And you don't have to run a 10K to do that. You just gentle movement, stretching, shabashi, other forms of Tai Chi, gentle yoga, mindful movement, which I love the practice of mindful movement. With that being said, let's come seated for just a moment. I'm going to grab my water. If you haven't had water for the last half hour, you might want to grab some. Of course, I ended up talking the whole time. Okay, let me change some things around. Remember, Tai Chi, first of all, Tai Chi means energy, movement of energy. That's a simple way to remember it, is movement of energy. Chi, C-H-I, also sometimes spelled Q-I, is the energy in our body. So the practice is moving the energy. It's a slow, mindful movement practice. If you want something that's more energetic and gymnastic-like, there's other forms of activities built on top of Tai Chi. Tai Chi is built on Qigong. Above Tai Chi comes Kung Fu and Bagua. And those are the very martial arts forms. Tai Chi is meant just to be mindful and gentle and healthy. Now, in class times, I spend all the time teaching you forms and giving you a little bit of practice through the sequences of how they're combined. The real practice comes if you choose to do it outside of class. You don't have to. There are people who love to just come in class and practice. I've taught at centers, wellness centers, senior centers, and there's people who just like to come to class because they enjoy doing it in class. But if you want the maximum benefit, then you'll start practicing out of class. If you could do 5 minutes a day That's all. 5 minutes a day of gentle movement. You will be amazed at the difference it's going to make for you. Though it is a little addictive, so be aware, but this is one of those good addictions, and we don't have a lot of those, but this is actually a good addiction. I recommend music with your practice, and that means anything audible, including nature sounds. But if you like to do it in silence and you find that relaxing, go for it. But consider if there is some music you like that's relaxing. For one thing, if you put on a certain type of music, it's a psychological trigger that it's time to practice. Thank you for coming today. I'm so impressed and amazed and pleased when you guys come and spend some of your weekend time with me. During the week, it's like, it's a weekday. We have time to do this. But when you give up some time on a Saturday and come share the time with me, I can't tell you how appreciative I am. I just love to see you anytime, but taking a break from your day on a Saturday, that's fantastic. If you're having some good experiences on Get Set Up, doesn't necessarily have to be my class. Please share them. There's all kinds of social media out there today. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are three of them. Tell your experiences there, because someone's going to really appreciate you turning them on to Get Set Up. I'm so thrilled somebody turned me on to it. I'll tell you that. So spread the good news, share the good experiences. And if you don't want to do that on social media, I don't tend to post much on social media. You can send your experience to Liz, Liz at getsetup.io. Liz is our social media guru, and she will take your experience and put it on her blog on our website. So share, please. Some related classes that you might want to take are Qigong. You heard me mention it a minute ago. Tai Chi is made from Qigong. Qigong came first, and then somebody got the bright idea of taking Qigong forms that are done for health reasons or medical reasons and stringing them together into a sequence, and they called it Tai Chi. That's why I also say slow flow yoga is somewhat related to this, because that's kind of like what they've done with slow flow yoga. They've taken yoga postures, made them slow, and allowed them to flow together. So Qigong, Tai Chi came from China. Yoga came from India, but all of it is thousands of years old. Now, for me, my next class is, I'm going to repeat this class about 5 times a week, I believe, Tai Chi for beginners. We're going to keep repeating these 4 basic substrings for a while longer, and then we're going to move into another sequence, maybe in a month or 2. So we're going to, switch back and forth for a while. It won't be the same sequence forever. But also, parallel to this, I'm leading a class called Tai Chi Shibashi. Shibashi means 18 in a Chinese dialect, and it stands for 18 healthy movements. So they're gentle, healthy movements meant to move the entire body in a gentle way. They're very easy, very fun to do. You don't have to memorize them. Just come and follow me in the class. We'll do some warm-ups. We'll do our 18 Shibashis, and you'll feel better for doing it. Come give it a try. Kundalini yoga, it's when you think of yoga, you're thinking of something called Hatha yoga, and that's like gym yoga. Kundalini yoga is therapeutic yoga. You notice I'm drawn to the modalities that are therapeutic. Well, Kundalini yoga is yoga that's done to make you healthier. A side effect is you'll get stronger, but it's intended to strengthen your nervous system. It's intended to massage your organs and your glands, your lymphatic system, so that you're healthier. I teach it online as a chair-based class, but if you want to attend and do it on a mat on the floor, just let me know when you first pop into class so that I know to give both descriptions. But if you haven't done Kundalini, come give it a try. It's a totally different animal than other yoga you've tried. And it's totally adaptable, by the way. Anybody, you can be 110 years old, you could be trapped in a hospital bed, and you can do Kundalini. I'm starting a new class in the next few days called Sit and Get Fit. Now, this is a chair-based fitness class. It's going to be there. I've got 2 versions, a gentle and a vigorous. So come give both of them a try. Both are we're going to stay moving for say a half an hour, but one way we're going to stay moving slowly and gentle, and the other one we're going to get vigorous and a little bit aerobic. So Come give them a try, see which one you prefer. I'd love to hear your feedback, but those classes are coming up soon. Now, class notes. After this class, I'm going to send you a list of what we did and a description of single whip forms, all of them. And that'll help you if you choose to do a home practice. You can use the words, the description to help you fill in the gaps. And of course, you can always get the recording, which I recommend. Get the recording. And there'll be some classes there that might interest you. They're classes that are just chosen randomly from a list. So there'll be something that Zoom's doing. Maybe it's something you've never tried. This one that happens to pop up here says fun games to play on Zoom. The lady who runs the games does a great job. If you want to just enjoy yourself, laugh, and share some laughs with people online, try the games. I recommend it. Now, down here, the give feedback. Please give your feedback. It means a lot to get set up. It means a lot to me. When you click this feedback button, it's going to say rate the session. What do you think of the class? Tell us how you feel. It's going to default to 4 stars. Give it the rating that you think is deserved. But let me tell you, it is no effort at all to click that 5th star. And it helps them, it helps the powers that be to decide to give us more of these classes. So I highly recommend, if you want more Tai Chi classes, more diverse Tai Chi classes, put there that you recommend to 5 stars, and then write down here, I want more classes, or I want more evening, or I want more weekend, or I want more Shibashi. Tell what you want. Same thing with the guide. They will offer me more classes based on my rating. So if you increase my rating, I will get an opportunity to teach more. And put in your comments if you think I talk too fast, if I go too slowly, if I don't describe enough, if we need to break it down more. Tell me what you want. All of these do get read, and most get passed on to me at some point, and the powers that be read them and they react. If you say you want something and other people are saying they want it, it's going to happen. And then in general, what can improve Get Set Up? Do you need more classes, bigger classes, smaller classes? Do you want a class in underwater basket weaving? Tell them what you want and then click done. We're a community, people. You and I are both part of a great community called the Get Set Up community. And the way it grows is we spread the word. You spread the word. Tell people, tell your friends, tell your loved ones, tell your neighbors, tell the people you don't like. Maybe they'll get better by coming over and joining us to Get Set Up, and you'll start liking them. Wouldn't that be great? Interest groups. Now, interest groups are not from the teachers or the guides. Interest groups are by learners. So if you're a typical learner here, you're not teaching a class, but you want to get more involved and you have an interest in, I don't know, making curtains. Maybe you really love to sew curtains. Do an interest group on curtain sewing. You're going to be amazed how many people show up and share their ideas, their patterns, their problems. Maybe you got a problem that you'll find an answer for. So do an interest group in something that you are a bit passionate about, something you enjoy. You just have to push the button and start the hour and open up the conversation, maybe ask a question and get everybody going. That's it. And if you want to, join an interest group soon and just see how it goes for you as an attendee. We partner with assisted care facilities, senior living agencies and facilities, government agencies, and community organizations. We have agreements with several state governments now, Michigan, New York, and Washington. So help us get more. If you know the contact links for people in these organizations, please send them to us. We will reach out and see if we can partner with them. The more partners we have, the more we can offer. Now, this is just reiterating what I previously said. Request the session recording. You can get today's and share ideas for new classes. Both of those are through one little email at help@getsetup.io. Anything you want to ask, go to help@getsetup.io. We have a great group of people who are going to bend over backwards to try to answer your question or help you in whatever you need. That's it. Cool. Let's see. So who hung in there with me? Oh, we still have 18 people. Oh, that's wonderful, people. So We have 2 minutes. Anybody got any questions or want to make any comments or want to talk about your Saturday afternoon or evening, wherever you are, morning? Maybe it's Thursday for you instead of Saturday. We are worldwide, so God knows what time zone you might be in. Though I'm thinking David Wong may be San Francisco, or isn't that a bridge? And I thought I recognized. I love San Francisco. Any city I can spend my whole time eating my way through is a great city, you know, and there is so much great food in San Francisco and so many great things to see. Yeah. Okay. Now that I've done a travel log for San Francisco. Everybody go visit San Francisco. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Anybody got anything they want to ask? Denise is getting impatient. She's checking her watch. I'm watching. Okay. Well, I hope to see you guys in class again soon. If you haven't tried my Shibashi or my Sit and Get Fit, please do.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.
Have a great
everyone.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Hi, David Wong. I lived in San Francisco too before.
Oh, I'm jealous. I've always wanted to live there.
I lived there for 25 years.
Oh, I'm really jealous. I lived there for 10 days one time. That was it. And I think I put on 5 pounds.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's lots of food
Oh,
from
there
different
is.
countries.
And so much culture. I mean, just
Oh,
so
yes.
much, you know, and
Yes.
the people are so much fun, you
Mhm.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.